Hello everyone, SuperSynth Studio here. The latest One Piece chapter, One Piece 1141, has been released. Loki, now free, is finally preparing to use his legendary weapon, capable of destroying Elbaf in an instant. Crazy, right? Curious? Bruh. Oh, and don't forget to leave your mark by liking this video. And let us know in the comments which city you're watching this from. Who knows? You might just find your soulmate here. One Piece chapter 1141 is titled An Older Woman. The story continues with the cover story about Yamato as journey around Wano country still inside. Who's Who's secret base? Ulti sees Who's Who's subordinates beating up page 1, which makes her cry in anger. The latest chapter, One Piece 1141, begins with Road and Nami bringing the castle's giant guards back to the village using Svala. The fog ship. Nami grumbles about not finding any great treasure in the castle, while Road tries to calm her down, worried the guards might hear her complaints. The scene then shifts to Frankie and Ripley at the Atom treasure tree. Frankie is amazed, realizing there's more to see than he imagined. Ripley explains that giants have lived on the branches of this tree for generations, each branch holding its own history. Suddenly, Frankie spots a large branch of the Atom tree that's been cut off but is still partially attached to the main trunk. Whoa! What's that? Frankie asks. Ripley replies, there used to be a village called Hyoren on that branch. One day, lightning struck and burned the entire village. The problem is, these old branches, once they catch fire, the flames won't go out. To prevent the fire from spreading, we had to cut down the entire branch along with the village on it. Frankie responds, that must have been a tough decision. The Atom tree is legendary, but when it gets old, things like this are unavoidable. Ripley adds, you could say lightning and fire are Elbaf's only weaknesses. The scene then returns to the western village of Elbaf, where Nami is back at the party talking to a drunk Usopp. Usopp says, "Hick, Nami, where did you go? And I can't find Luffy and Zoro anywhere." Nami replies, no idea, maybe they're exploring. Oh, that's great, Usopp slurs. Jarul arrives at the table where Nami and Usopp are sitting. Usopp greets him. Hey Jarul, look, our genius navigator is here. How beautiful, Jarul says. Usopp teases, you dirty old man. What's your type anyway? Without hesitation, Jarul replies, Bojaja. My type? An older woman. Hearing this, Usopp jumps up and smacks Jarul's head with his sword, causing Jarul to cry out in pain. There's no way someone like that exists. You're the oldest person in the whole world. Dahaha, Usopp laughs. Oh, Jarul groans in pain. Master Jarul, the giants shout. Nami sits next to Jinbei, watching Usopp's drunken antics with a smile. She remarks that coming to Elbaf was a dream for both Usopp and Luffy. Meanwhile, Sanji notices Gird isn't at the party and starts looking for her. The scene shifts to Road, who brings the giant guards to Gird for healing. Gird tries to ask what happened, but Road tries to hide the truth. In the end, Gird ends up scolding Road. Next, we see Luffy and Zoro in the underworld, where they find Loki in a near-death state. Luffy tries to break the chains, but they're made of sea stone, weakening him upon contact. Zoro and Luffy argue. Zoro says it's not yet time to free. Loki, they need to talk to him first to figure out what kind of person he is. Zoro walks over to Loki and kicks his wound, causing Loki to scream in pain. Okay, so the wound's real, Zoro says. He's almost dead, Luffy shouts. If he dies, then that's just his fate, Zoro adds. Wow, you're so mean, Luffy responds. Zoro eventually agrees to remove the chains but leaves one shackle on Loki's ankle. Luffy says he'll go get Chopper, but since the Owl Library is too far, they'll have to call the village doctor instead. Zoro reminds Luffy about the giants, warning that freeing Loki is a grave crime and they'll surely be banished from Elbaf. Luffy says he doesn't care and insists on calling the village doctor. Luffy also mentions they need to get some meat because no one can recover without eating. Zoro points out the defeated animals near Loki. There's plenty of meat lying around, Zoro says. Luffy gets upset and shouts, don't ever say that again. They're my friends. I'll go hunt something in the mountains. Meat is meat, Zoro replies. Luffy grows even angrier. Of course you wouldn't eat your own friends, right? Alright, my bad, Zoro concedes. As Luffy heads toward the village, he hears something coming from the sky. Luffy and Zoro see Hadruden and his crew, along with Sanji, falling in the Svala. Hadruden heard everything from Road and rushed down to stop Luffy and Zoro, but in their haste, Hadruden's crew didn't use the usual lift and instead rode the Svala, which crashes because there are no island clouds in the underworld. In an amazing double-page spread, Luffy uses Gomu Gomu no Fusen to save them all. His body inflates massively to stop the Svala. Hydrogen cries tears of joy seeing Luffy, but the Svala bounces so hard that everyone except Gird and Sanji is sent flying again. Hydrogen and his crew manage to reunite with Luffy, but they're badly injured. They thank Luffy for his help, as falling from that height would have meant instant death. Hydrogen then pleads with Luffy not to free Loki. Please, Mugiwara, reconsider your decision to free Loki. Don't trust Loki. He's cunning and cruel. He's evil. A pitiless villain. We've known him since he was a mischievous child. If he says something nice to you, it's definitely part of a wicked plan. He's a man who casually killed someone he called a friend just yesterday. He's an enemy of the world. Zoro says, a bit late for that? Huh? Hydrogen shouts. In the final, truly epic double-page spread of the chapter, Loki has awakened, though he still wears a shackle on his left ankle. He stands before Luffy, looking furious, though his face remains shadowed. Loki is massive, making Luffy look like an ant in comparison. The new giant warrior pirates are stunned. That's Loki! Hydrogen and his crew shout. Whoa! He was supposed to be unconscious, Luffy exclaims. Hydrogen stares at Loki with intense wariness, while Loki grabs his weapon with an evil grin. Hydrogen yells, "Stop! Loki, stay away from Ragnar." In kanji, it means great iron lightning.